We have an action-packed agenda. I hope everybody has gotten a copy of their agenda in front of them. I want you to take that home. It is chock full of information. I've got some opening business I wish to conduct. Then our first speaker is going to be the Honorable Travis Moore, followed by candidate Johanna Bishop, followed by one of my favorite people on the internet, Lee Turner, and then myself with a Volunteer of the Month award and maybe a little stump speech if you guys are still awake and eager to see it. I'm eager to give it. I have no idea what I'm going to say, so it'll be fun if you hang around. But first, for those who are new, I want to point out some things about how we conduct our business and what you have around here. Most importantly, to your right are the restrooms. All right, ladies' room and men's room, so let's make sure we know that. Then, of course, we've got a breakfast buffet, lots of sandwiches, donuts, fruit. I'm going to ask you to make another swing by there on your way out and grab some stuff for the people at home. We have to get rid of all of this food. And thank you to the social committee for putting that food together. That's wonderful. It used to be a time where we would have a breakfast buffet. It would cost $10 or more to eat. And I think that just kind of maybe drove some people away. So we're very happy that we've got some generous people who bring the food, who set up the dishes and all that. We have a literature table in the back next to our honored guest, President Barack Obama. Please swing by there. There's volunteer forms. There's informational forms. There's information about running for office and what the Greenwood County Democratic Party can do for you. We're not done with the filing period. We have another filing period coming up in August for the nonpartisan offices, and we want to make sure there's a choice for every slot on that ballot. So if you're considering it and you want to give a couple of months to think about it, please take one of those brochures. A lot of good information in the back. Please do take a look. And then finally, for the first time at our breakfast meeting, and we introduced this last month at our convention, we've got merchandise to sell. If you want to contribute a little bit to the Greenwood County Democrats and go in style with a fancy new logoed shirt or carry a tumbler with some liquids and a straw with our logo on it, it makes a great thing for yourself to have, or you can annoy a conservative friend with a gift. So however you wish to look at it, please help yourself to merchandise. We only get a little bit off the top. The rest goes to cover the costs. But I think it's good to show some pride in what we believe in and who we are. So I think that's it for the quick announcements. Let's get into some order of business. All right, some quick updates. First of all, candidate filing has been closed, and I open with this because this is the reason for our party's existence. Yes, we like to rally and get out the vote and do voter registration and hold fundraisers, maybe go to a protest or two, enjoy some breakfast and communing together. That's all great. But everything we do serves the purpose of our Democratic candidates. That's why we're here. We're here to inform, we're here to fundraise, we're here to get out their information. Last week on Wednesday at noon marked one of the milestones for this election year, as that's when filing closed for the partisan offices, statewide as well as local. And in your agenda is a handy guide, which is also available on our website if you want to share it, but it's a list of all of the candidates who have filed. We highlighted in blue those who were Democrats, and we put in the party affiliation for the others. There's some interesting parties out there, some I've never heard of. United Citizens, Libertarian, I've heard of them, Green Party, Independent, Labor, etc. All sorts of people from all walks of life have filed to run. It is your responsibility, and it is our mission to learn about these candidates. Now, I'm telling you this as a chair of the Democratic Party. I lean in that direction, but I'm going to cast my vote for whomever I think is best fit to serve. I think that's how it should be. I think that straight ticket voting is nonsense. I've voted back and forth all my life, and I've always gone through who I thought was the best. It just so happens to be I tend to align with the Democratic candidates, but it's not always been that way. but it's up to us and yourself to study, learn these candidates, learn by their words, learn by their deeds, and get to talk to them, get to know them, get to understand where they're at today. So I wish everybody to get a chance to do so. Just to walk through those positions quickly, we've got the U.S. Senate, we've got U.S. Congress. How many people are upset by that? No competition in SC3. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll move on. We've got other offices to pursue and our energies to be diverted elsewhere. We've got governor, we've got secretary of state. We have no Democratic challengers for attorney general or state treasurer. We have 3 Democrats for superintendent of education, a bunch of people for commission of agriculture. Who knew that was such a popular position? I thought maybe I should have filed for that role. I don't know what they do, but it seems exciting, and I know it's important. A comptroller, no competition, but I hear he does a good job. County Council, District 1, Edith has stepped aside. If you saw the news in the Index Journal recently, wonderful article about her life and career, and we wish her the best, and we look forward to getting to know Teresa Griffin and her campaign. So welcome. And I also want to acknowledge Gary, Dr. Gary Burgess, who's here, State Superintendent. He's right behind us, and he's gotten to know some of you already as he handed out his information. County Council, District 2, there is no competition. Mark gets to skate in. District 3, we've got Johanna Bishop and Melissa Spencer, who will be competing in the primary. Primaries are on June 14th. We've got this small race in House District 13 that I don't think anybody's going to pay attention to. And then we have a good man for probate judge who gets to continue to serve and gets to spend his money elsewhere in supporting other candidates. But then if you turn the page, November 8th, or August 1st through 15th, we have the nonpartisan offices. So if you have not filed to run for office yet, I encourage you to do so for the positions in Greenwood City, School Board, Ware Shoals, Troy, and Hodges. I also want to point out at the top of the first page, we actually have an election coming up on May 10th, a very important election for School Board in both Ware Shoals in '96. We have seen that the frontline battle is happening at the school board level, and we want to make sure we have good, sane candidates sitting in those seats. So I welcome our candidate over there, Deshaun Williams. Say hello. All right, he is running for school board, correct? All right, welcome. Thank you. So we want to get to connect with him and see how we can help in any way. And next month at our breakfast meeting, I invite you to speak again. I want you to have a full dedicated time in time for your election, all right? All right. Next order of business is our executive committee. We met a couple of weeks back. We have a newly elected executive committee, some new members, and we welcome them. But we also invited for the first time precinct leaders to our executive committee. We had 17 people attend the executive committee meeting at the library in order to conduct business, strategize for an election year, a lot of diverse faces, a lot of different opinions, a lot of ideas to the table. I had never felt more energized. If you wish to partake in this, you just need to be a precinct leader. You need to sign up and say, I would like to try it out and be a beacon, a voice in my voting precinct. We've got 50 of them in Greenwood County, and we've got 17, 18 filled, so there's plenty of precincts to go. I ask you to stop by, fill out a volunteer form in the back if you are interested in being a precinct leader, and then you can join us in these executive committee meetings. Last Saturday, we were on the road. We have adopted a road, Cokesbury Street, and we visit there twice a year to make sure it is tidy and clean for all the residents of that county. Boy, let me tell you, we needed it last week. It was filthy. The stuff I saw thrown on the side of the road, well, I'll tell you what, it's not there anymore. So thank you to George, thank you Lane, thank you Carl for showing up last Saturday, taking your morning, and helping keeping our neighborhood beautiful. We will have another opportunity, October, November timeframe, and I'm sure we'll be back to its old self at that point, and our volunteerism and diligence will be needed again. We also got to celebrate last Sunday the South Carolina Democratic Party Black Caucus Sunday dinner. This was their first ever inaugural annual fundraising dinner in Columbia. It was a fancy event. It was suit and tie and your Sunday best, big hats all over the place. It was a wonderful sight to see. I was born in Philadelphia, and we had the tradition of the Mummers Parade. Anybody familiar with the Mummers? Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, but I tell you, this Sunday dinner could put them to shame. It was beautiful plumage that I got to see. But it was also very energetic and inspiring. 500 people attended this dinner so as part of a fundraiser. That lets you know that the Democratic Party in South Carolina is strong, is active, and they're loud. They're just as loud when they want to be. It was also very inspiring and, goosebumps formed to get to see Reverend Jesse Jackson speak. I don't know how much longer we have the pleasure of having him in our lives. It was my first time to see him speak, but as many of you may know, he has been battling Parkinson's these last 5 years, and he just got released from the hospital recovering from COVID. Can you imagine that 1-2 punch? But he, in his strength, made it. His body may be weaker, but his mind and his soul, let me tell you, he showed up and he spoke for a good 20 minutes. Can you believe that? He stood and spoke for 20 minutes. And that just gave me all the courage I needed to take whatever steps to help out this community. So thank you to those who were able to come. We were able to recognize some members of our party who were good stalwarts, who have always helped out, who have always volunteered these last 2 years with me as chair. We had an unfortunate couple drop out at the last second while I was at the litter pickup. But you know what? The Lord moves in mysterious ways, because I was able to give those 2 tickets to 2 of the members who were cleaning up garbage with me that day. And Carl and Lane got to go as a result. And sometimes things are they work out the way they were meant to work out. So we all got a chance to experience, and it was a lovely group shot that we have. All right, and I believe this is my final slide before we get to our illustrious speakers. We have the state convention on the calendar for Saturday, June 11th. We are allowed 26 delegates from Greenwood. Now, a delegate's kind of an honorary position. You get a special seating section. You get to vote on whatever motions or issues arise. You vote by standing up, but you at least get a special spot with our Greenwood County sign next to us. It's really neat to do. We're allowed 26, 13 women and 13 men. We've got 13 spots with the women filled, and thank you to all the ladies. Of course, it's always the ladies who are leading the way, right? We got to drag the men out of bed to go show up to these things. So we do have 9 men who have signed up to be delegates. We need 4 more. So if you would like to be one of those 4 from Greenwood, again, just fill out the form in the back, mark the little check box that says delegate, and we'll be back to you. But we have to turn in our list sometime soon, within the next 10 days. We got to turn in our list. So the sooner you sign up, the better. Now, even if you're not a delegate, you can still go to the convention. It's wide open. There's no check-in process. There's no fee. You can just show up and sit and watch. So there's plenty of seats in the convention center. But if you wish to be a delegate, you need to have that check mark marked. All right. With that, I'm going to get out of the way and turn it over to our illustrious speakers.